an absolutely amazing example of a journalist from the developing world who is truly telling unique and powerful stories, so much like what we've talked about in the classroom.
I worked as a freelance reporter for the Global Press Institute, and I was also working with a human rights organization, and so we were covering issues in regards to social justice issues and the post-conflict situation in the country, and also because Uganda is a landlocked country, it's in the center, and then we have all these countries around us that have had civil unrest, and so we host many people that have fled their countries, and so just working with that organization introduced me to introduced me to some issues that I thought were not being covered by the mainstream media, and I thought, okay, well, I think it's a good thing to actually write about these issues. I thought, like, getting this kind of stories that are not covered, in the mainstream media would be a way of bringing the positive voices, because right now I think the most interesting discourse in the international agenda now is like, who tells our stories? What agenda do they have? The challenge is more like the story. I mean, if you're talking about people, one, there is not one angle to a story. So it's always important to capture it in a holistic way. I mean, sometimes we feel lazy, like you try to get in touch with people and you don't get response at all, and you're like, I think it's easier to, it's to just take this round. But I want to challenge you today as the young journalists, that are going to determine the media scene tomorrow about the world. It's just like the one thing that you leave from this talk is just like the importance of the story that you're telling and how you represent the people. If you're going to write about people's lives, try and be true to it. I find that the work that the GPI does is interesting because she hires me from Uganda. I know what is happening on the ground in Uganda. So I say, hey, Cristi, there is this, I'm going to write about this, this, and this. So what Cristi does is to just edit and to fact check and everything, So it is like the stories that you find highlighted on Global Press Institute are actually the real issues on the ground, So it brings into play like the importance of working with the journalists on the ground. They understand the country context. They understand the pending issues.
So this is the first time that a Global Press Institute reporter has ever come to the United States. So it's very exciting for us, just for me personally, to have her here. Jackee has been a reporter with Global Press Institute for 2 years now, and as a reporter, she's responsible for bringing to light stories that are untold in mainstream local or international media. So in her time with GPI, she's told a lot of stories about refugee and social justice issues happening on the ground in Uganda that are impacting people's lives in a much more serious way than anything highlighted in Kony 2012.